Say yes every day to the world and to your heart. Open up your eyes and let your spirit start. Say yes to the dreams you hold inside. Let your soul be your guide.
Thank you for joining us today for another episode of Wednesday Wisdom. Today, we are joined by the incredible Tanja Diamond. She is a business and life strategist. Tanja, thank you so much for joining us today. And on Wednesday Wisdom, we like to start things off with, we go through life, little kids, going through our day-to-day here, growing up, and we're learning lessons. We're taking advice. We're absorbing all of this. And some lessons and some pieces of advice kind of sit with us and attach to us in how we perceive and take action in our lives. So Tanja, especially as a business and life strategist, I bet you've got lots of wisdom and nuggets to share with us, but please pick one of them and let us know, what is that piece of advice you'd like to share?
Absolutely. I love this question. And thank you so much for having me on. So there are so many strategies, pieces of, as you said, seeds, nuggets, whatever's out there in the world. And the reality is, I think it all comes down to one specific thing that I certainly make sure everybody I work with knows. And that is your life purpose is, okay, everybody, because that's the $1 million question. It's unsexy, self-management. So what I mean by that is that you take care of yourself. You are nervous system regulated. You are financially resourced. You have your stuff. You do your personal work. Because I believe that having a foundation, if you build stuff on a rocky foundation, you're always going to crash and have a glass ceiling somewhere that never works, whether it's in your life, your business, your finances, your sex life, doesn't matter what it is. If your foundation isn't solid, you're always going to run into challenges, right? Exactly. So learning how to self-manage is, to me, the paramount lesson that I've learned in my life and then have helped other people figure out. And from there, basically, you'd be surprised. Everything becomes epic and achievable.
So Tanja, wow. Okay, because what you just said is a big thing. Like, that is really big, right? Like, you made it sound so simple.
Yes.
You made it sound okay. If you've got a strong foundation in all those areas of your life, you can continue to strive and build. But if you don't, it's rocky and you might run into those challenges. So I guess we're going to dive right into the rest of the discussion of, where do you start? How do you do that? How do I, even if I just take one little piece, whether it's personal or business or whatever, how do you start to do that?
I love the question because you know what? It's not as overwhelming as it sounds. So I appreciate the follow-up question because here's the deal. It actually all pivots on 3 things. 1, self-commitment. 2, that builds self-trust. And 3, that builds self-respect. There's 4 pillars to self-love. We all try to love ourselves, right? We don't know what that means, how to do it. But here's how to break that down really easily. All right. So the pillars are self-commitment, self-respect, self-trust, self-respect, self-love. Okay. Most of us are liars. And we lie to ourselves all day long. That's just science. I'm a nerd. I've got click blue blocking glasses happening here. So I'm a biohacker nerd and I collect data. We lie to ourselves all the time. And everybody knows nobody trusts a liar. Who trusts a liar? Nobody. It's encoded in us to distrust liars.
We're going to put up our guard, right?
Yeah,
we're going to put up our guard. We're not going to trust.
Right. So very few people trust themselves because you're lying to yourself all the time. I'm going to get up and go to the gym at 6 a.m. I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to do this again. I'm going to start that project. I'm going to do this. I'm going to finish that. It is endless. So until you can create a container of self-commitment, meaning that you don't lie to yourself, you'll never achieve self-trust. So step 1, go take a piece of paper and literally write down all that crap in your head. I should do this. I'm going to do this. I'm blah, 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 blah. Just dump it all out on a piece of paper And then go really look at it and go, oh, I've been saying I should lose that 5 pounds for 7 years. Let's scratch that off the list because clearly that's not happening. And I'm not saying you give up on these things. I'm saying we're going to take it all out of your head right now.
Right.
Okay. We're going to simplify it. Scratch all of them off your list. I'm going to piano, 6 a.m. gym, like whatever you're failing at now, just stop. Stop it. Stop saying it. Okay. Scratch them off. Then reassess. What is one tiny action you could take for the next 30 days that you would be successful at? Because our brains follow success, not failure. And if self-beratement and guilt and bad negative self-talk is going to get you where you need to go, that would have happened already. So let's just ditch that. Okay. Maybe it's something so simple. It's like, I'm going to drink that 5 ounces of water on my nightstand when I get up in the morning. I mean, I want it ridiculously simple.
Yep.
I want you to succeed to doing it every day for 30 days, every day for 30 days, something. 5 calf raises while I brush my teeth. Consider that a workout. Don't care. That's what I want. So simple, can't fail. So when you start doing that, you're actually starting to build that self-commitment, which builds self-trust. All right, so now you're rocking into harder ones. You're starting to take on a little bit more challenge, but you really want to make sure you have done at least 3 months, 90 days of 30-day commitments that you succeed at doing and celebrate them. Woohoo! Woohoo! I did, like you won a gold medal drinking that 5 ounces of water. Okay, now your brain is starting to look for more successes in your day. So start tagging them, right? Anything that's small. Hey, I made myself a healthy lunch. Woohoo! Hey, I walked down those stairs. Woohoo! It doesn't matter what it is. Woohoo! Because your brain will start finding more things to be successful.
Yeah, you start noticing them, right? They start like all of a sudden, those things that you wouldn't notice before. Now you're noticing them.
Yes, notice them all. Celebrate the successes because 4 to 1, 4 positives to every negative is what needs to happen. Okay, so now you're on your way. 90 days in, you're getting success. You're feeling success. Add one that's a little bit harder. A little bit more challenging. And you continue to do that for a year, let's just say. Okay. Those are 5-minute things. These are tiny little things, right? The impact is so huge that that self-trust really escalates your self-respect. And in self-respect, you start to build boundaries around your self-care, about how you'll be treated, about how you, productivity, how you manage your life. So once you have self-commitment, you build self-respect. Self-respect helps you build self-trust, helps you build self-respect. Self-respect helps you, guess what? Fall in love with yourself easily. Who doesn't love somebody that's committed, trustworthy, and respectful? We all do. We're into that. So once you build that foundation, it goes across everything you're doing. Finances, life, business, love. So it doesn't matter. That's the only thing to focus on. If you keep doing all these other things, you're just piling on top of something that's going to break.
Right. I love it. And it's funny when you said our brains follow success. I have that same logic about business and in life, right? Who do you want to emulate, right? You don't want to emulate the person that's struggling and the person that's miserable or the person that, you're like, no, that brings me down. But why are people drawn to people that you're like, oh my God, that person must have the answer. They must know. They may not have the answer. I mean, I'm not saying that that's the case, but our brains are drawn to it, regardless if they have the answer or not, right? So that confirmation of what you just said, you're like, I love this conversation because Tanya, me and you could go on for hours and hours because I am a TED Talk nerd. I am a read, get information. Like that is my brain too. And I always say people forget that we're animals. Yeah. Now we're very evolved animals, but we are animals. And it sounds like you have a lot of neurological, like you've studied like the things that trigger us and how to maximize our brains, our bodies, our emotions, like everything. And all of that is so simple yet so complex. Right. And what you just said about breaking it down to, it's funny that you even said about the water. Because I always say to people, you have a very thirsty brain. And in the evening, when you're sleeping, you are dehydrating. And
Exactly.
you must hydrate that brain. So even that example you give, so simple, yet it's life-changing.
Exactly.
We need the hydration. We lose it when we're sleeping, right? So just even that one change, that's a great change. That's
Exactly.
and you should feel good about that change. That's good.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
So most of the things to help us heal, either because I work with healing trauma,
Okay.
business, business scaling. I mean, everything really. It's actually everybody I teach. The first thing I do is teach them this. It doesn't matter if they're trying to break the $1 million ceiling or find great love. It doesn't matter, because literally the foundation, like I said, self-management is the foundation of every other thing you're going to do. And we tend to neglect that because we're busy putting knowledge in our heads and not actually what I call it. Knowledge is in the head. Mastery is in the being.
Yeah.
So you can shove all the knowledge you want in your head. You can understand all the whys. You can do all that. However, if you don't actually implement some basic foundations, you will just keep running into the same problems over and over again. And it's the most unsexy thing that I teach, literally. But the results are the most epic and awesome.
I was going to say, that's where the sexy comes in.
That's right.
It's the results.
Exactly. And I am one of those people that I don't teach anything or do anything that doesn't work for everybody except sociopaths. So I want to say this clearly. Everything I do has a 99% success rate. The only people it doesn't work for. So we're not all so unique that, oh, that won't work for me. It will. I'm autistic. I have all sorts of issues. It works for everybody. I've worked with over 100,000 people in 60 countries. I got a lot of data. And we tend to block ourselves and think we're special and so unique, and so this can't work. So we keep jumping around to all these things when we neglect the basic thing. Like you're saying, hydration. Just 10%, 10% dehydrated, you're 30% less productive. And
yeah,
it's crazy. So
it is,
and even that, so everybody could just start with, the 10 ounces or 5 ounces. I mean, like I said, make it easy.
Yeah.
But self-management is the key to build everything else on top of. So you don't keep crashing and wondering, wow, I'm successful here.
And listen, we all know that's not how we're taught. Those are not the lessons that we are brought up on.
Correct.
And especially, we're not even going to get into it. This is not a podcast about specific to women, but we know as women, most of our life is the care of others.
Yes.
The care of whether it's our aging parents, whether it's our children, whether it's our partners, whatever, our teams.
Business,
yeah, just
business.
keep the list.
Our business, our this.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always taking care of whatever that is in the next line. And it has been a mantra for many, many years where it's selfish to put yourself to where you have to regulate yourself and put yourself at the highest level. But we all know if we are not in our best mental, emotional, physical sense, we cannot help anyone. It's not possible.
Own oxygen mask on first. I mean, it's kind of like, we hear it all the time. We rarely implement it. And somehow being a martyr victim, is somehow, I don't know, a good thing. And it's absolutely not. It's like the least thing of full life purpose and joy that you can be is in martyr victim space.
I love it. So tell me, you mentioned a little bit of some of the things you work with clients on.
Yeah.
Can you expand a little bit, go into a little bit more detail on that?
Absolutely. So I realized early on in my life that even though when I help people in business, if I'm helping people build a business, I'm like, niche down, you're talking to one person, right? So though I have 5 brands, and though I work everything from sex to multi-million-dollar businesses, I built each one separately. So that I want to preface with that. Basically, my day can consist of, getting up on a coaching call and talking to somebody about scaling their business or where they're not leading right. Or I just did a couples weekend intensive of helping them heal sexual issues, to parenting talk, to it really, business and life strategist kind of encompasses the fact that there isn't anything that I actually haven't worked with people on. And so for me, it's more important who is it that is coming to me, right? And are they coachable? Because I'm a so here's the difference. I'm a strategist. People pay me to tell them what to do, not listen to all their stories.
Gotcha.
So when you
that's a good clarification.
Oh, it's a great one, because people come to me and I'm like, okay, they're coming to me to get stuff done, get value, make it happen. And so I'm not like, so how do you feel about that? I'm more like, yeah, if you tell me that story again, I'm going to charge you double. Here's what we're going to do. And so I like to give strategic, value-driven tools that people implement and they work. And so whatever it is, wherever it is I'm working in life and business, it's always that same way. And as I said before, it's building foundations that are so rock solid that everything else or put on top of them just stays. They don't keep crashing and burning. And that's really important to me. Sustained healing and sustained success is the integrity in which I work.
Got it. I love it. Sounds beautiful. Sounds beautiful. All right. Well, Tanja, as I said, we could go on for hours, but we are going to wrap up. And on Wednesday Wisdom, we end our podcast always in a way of, I always want people to have that unlimited mindset, to believe that we have the ability to create anything that we can actually think of. So we end with planting a seed into the world at this moment, that if I said to you, you have unlimited resource, unlimited funds, unlimited knowledge, whatever, what would you do?
I would put the self-healing tools, my proprietary self-healing tools, in every individual's hands, starting at from the age of 10 years old on.
There you go. I love that. And I think that is absolutely something that I could see happening. And I could certainly see that as something that our world certainly needs. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Tanja, you are amazing. Please share with everyone. Celebrate. Please share with everyone. How can they learn more about you?
Absolutely. If you can spell my name, which is Tanja Diamond, I'm on 60, 70. I don't know how many pages of Google that I currently run, but you will find me. You will find me. My biggest hangout, and I was just celebrating 2 million views in the last week, is on Facebook. Yes, old school, but I love Facebook. So there you are. And basically I'm on Google. You can find me anywhere. My contact information is Tanja at TanjaDiamond.com, first name, last name. And it's pretty easy. If you can't find me, you're not spelling my name right.
Tanja Diamond.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. Tanja, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with all of us, and keep shining brightly.
Thank you so much, everybody.